Hi everyone, welcome to Alternatives to VCE. Have you heard of VCAL? My name is Rachel and I'm a student advisor here at Kangan Institute. Now before we get started, I want to run through some etiquette for the webinar. You'll have the opportunity to ask questions throughout the webinar, so please type any questions you have in the Q&A button that you see at the bottom of your screen. Alex is going to be the moderator today for today's session, so she'll be answering some of the questions throughout the webinar. If your question is not answering during the webinar, we will address this at the end. Please note that we'll not be utilising the raise hand function in tonight's webinar. Just a reminder to please be respectful of the rights, privacy, safety, opinions and beliefs of others, and demonstrate appropriate and respectful behaviour and use of language. We hope you enjoy the webinar and our virtual open day. Now I'm going to talk to you about alternatives to VCE. Have you heard of VCAL? I'm going to break down what is VCAL, why study VCAL, and all the benefits to completing VCAL qualification here at Kangan Institute. Firstly, what is VCAL? So VCAL stands for the Victorian Certificate of Applied Learning. So what does that mean? It's essentially a practical option for students in year 11 and 12, and it's designed to prepare students for further education, training, or employment. So it provides students with work-related experience, literacy and numeracy skills, industry-specific skills, and also develop those crucial personal skills. So if you're a practical, more hands-on learner, and you'd benefit more from hands-on classes rather than that traditional environment, VCAL might be the perfect option for you. I will also mention that we do have VCAL running at 2 of our metro campuses. We have it running at Broadmeadows and also at Richmond. Now I want to move on to the VCAL award levels. But before I get stuck into that, I just wanted to say how lucky we are here in Victoria. Most Australian students only have the choice of one senior secondary qualification, but students in Victoria have the opportunity to choose from 2 different senior qualifications. So you have your VCE, which is your Victorian Certificate of Education, and you also have your VCAL. So it's the Victorian Certificate of Applied Learning. If you feel that VCE is not your thing, and VCAL might be a really great alternative, and it provides you, like I said, with those hands-on options in year 10, 11 and 12. So let's break down these different award levels. So firstly, I'm going to start with the Foundation VCAL. Foundation VCAL is the year 10 equivalent. It doesn't mean everybody in Foundation VCAL is in year 10, but you do need to be at least 15 years old here. And if you haven't completed year 10 successfully, we'll likely place you in the Foundation VCAL. It's also there to help improve the literacy, numeracy, those work-ready skills, communication skills, as well as preparing you to be ready to commence at Kangan Institute if you were going to do either a pre-app apprenticeship or a certificate level course. Then we have our Intermediate VCAL. This is the year 11 equivalent, and you need to have completed year 10 or Foundation VCAL in order to get into this one, and at least 16 years of age. So for both the Intermediate VCAL and the Senior VCAL, you'll have practical work-related experience and maybe vocational education training, so some vet training involved in that as well. You'll have literacy and numeracy skills, and you'll also have those opportunities to build on personal skills that are not only important at work, but also with life itself. And now you've guessed it. So Senior is our year 12 equivalent. You must have completed either year 11 or Intermediate VCAL, and you're obviously wanting to finish that Senior Secondary Certificate. Now we'll move along, and VCAL has 4 curriculum areas. So these might be referred to as units or strands, and I'll run through these 4 units and strands right now. So we have the literacy and numeracy skills. Before you freak out and you see literacy there, you're not going to be learning Macbeth or Shakespeare or anything that you won't think is useful in life. You're going to be doing things like letters, proposals, quotes, things that will help you in either industry or in life itself. Then you're also going to be learning numeracy. Before you're thinking, oh no, like really hard algebra, we're not expecting Albert Einstein. We're doing things like money, budgeting, measurements, reading of time. So really useful things that you can perhaps use in your industry, but also, like I said, in life itself. Then we have the industry specific skills. So this might be where you choose to do a vet course. So maybe if you wanted to be a tradie, you wanted to be a carpenter, for instance, you might pick the building construction vet course to complete whilst doing your VCAL. Or you might look at different streams and have a variety of different areas, and from there choose maybe an industry that you would like to pursue. Then we have our work-related skills. These are things like your resume, career info, taxes. I wish someone showed me how to do taxes. My first tax return was a steep learning curve. So these are really important things that you will learn there as well. And then we have the personal development skills. So these are things like leadership, planning and organising, self-development, and I like to call these ones transferable skills. So the really good thing about these is when you learn these skills, you can take them to whatever industry that you're going. Every industry needs someone that's good at organising and planning. So whether you're doing carpentry, allied health, childcare, organisation skills can be used at any of those courses. Now we're going to move on to why choose VCAL. So if you haven't planned on going to university, or you're not really interested in university, it can prepare you for an alternative pathway. So I will also say that if you decide you don't want to go to uni now, it doesn't mean if you do VCAL you can't go to uni. It just means it might be a bit of a longer pathway, or as I like to put it, the scenic route. Then we have the preparation for pathways. So these are pathways that you can enter straight after your VCAL qualification. Things like apprenticeships, so that's where you study part-time, but it's mostly on-the-job training. Then your vet courses. So when I refer to a vet course, these are your vocational education training. So these are courses that are certificate level up to advanced diploma level courses. Or if you wanted to enter into full-time employment, that's also a pathway that VCAL can help with. You can also choose your modules based on the areas of interest or any career aspirations that you have. So for instance, if you like one area, you can pick your streams, or maybe have your literacy and numeracy complement those streams as well. Now, I've said it once and I'm going to say it a million times. One of the main appeals of VCAL is that really strong emphasis on practical work-related skills. So students focus maybe on a specific industry, whether you're doing your vet qualification or you're completing units from a range of different areas. So hands-on 100%. Then we have students who also choose to undertake a flexible study program. So things like tailored work placement, an apprenticeship, a traineeship, or even maybe part-time work. Then we have job opportunities. So VCAL gives students the opportunity to partake in workplace learning, which ultimately could present you with a new career opportunity or even a job. Then we have the further advancements and opportunities. So you can participate in industry or community competitions and events and provide various avenues to those work key related skills. So this can help boost your resume, so you can put things on your resume, and also get you out with people in the community, perhaps in your industry. So it's really good who you know out there. Putting a good front foot forward, having chats with someone, being proactive, asking questions, that really goes a long way, because even if they might not have a job in the industry, they'll have other connections, and that perhaps they could say, actually, I was talking to a student at Kangan and I think they would be great. So if you swap details and things like that as well. Obviously, everyone loves money. So the longer you study, the more you have of increasing your earning potential. You have a higher qualification, as opposed to maybe only doing to year 10 and you're going to year 12. So more money. Also, if you want to explore an interest or a hobby and you don't know whether or not that could be a career, we can make those streams towards your hobby, and then we can maybe look at turning that into a career, because they say you've got to love what you do. Now, I'm gonna break this down. So let's talk about things, you to me, big picture. Let's have an adult conversation. So you're finally in year 10 of secondary school and you can almost taste the freedom, and you're thinking, should I do my VCAL? Should I bother? What's the point? I hate sitting in a classroom. School's boring. I hate school. Shakespeare, what's that going to teach me? And you can never imagine being set foot in a classroom ever again, and you're thinking, should I just drop out now? I just want you to not make a hasty decision and not drop out of school and think 10 years down the track, I wish I stayed and got that senior qualification. In the grand scheme of things, you'll be around for a really long time, and 2 years in comparison to the rest of your life is such a small percentage. So I challenge you to make a really adult decision and really weigh up all your options. So I'm going to run through these options with you again and give you a little bit more of an idea of maybe why you could stay and do VCAL. So let's rehash everything we've just covered and show you what you could gain from completing VCAL and studying here at Kangan Institute. So if you didn't have those hands-on skills, you could learn new hands-on skills. If you already had some hands-on skills, you can refine them and make those better. It can also show you dedication. VCAL does require hard work. It's not a walk in the park. And it shows when you set out to finish something and you can actually finish. It means that you can prove to yourself that you can do it. You could prove to your friends that you can do it. You can prove to your family you can do it. And it's such a huge self-accomplishment if you can complete it. You can learn those life and work-related skills. So those ones that I said before, I used a key word called transferable skills. So they're those things like, you know, your organization, your communication, skills that you can learn in every aspect, every industry, even in life itself, not necessarily in your work life. It's a new environment, so that's really exciting. Like I said, we have Broadmeadows and Richmond, and we have new teachers that they're new teachers. You can call them by their first name. It's an adult learning environment. There's no uniforms. You're surrounded by other people that are learning adult courses. It gives you that sneak peek into life after year 12 that maybe your friends that have stayed and done VCE haven't even had a snippet of. So you're kind of one step ahead of them as well. Then it can increase that earning potential. So maybe you found something that you like, whether it be a vet course or a stream, and you can go on to further qualifications. You can also get credits towards further studies. So if you're completing that vet subject within your VCAL, that will be credited towards it if you pursue that course at a higher level. And it also knocks off time because you don't want to be doubling up or repeating anything again. And also it will knock off a little bit of the cost. And hopefully you'll have a lot more job opportunities. You can advance further and also quicker in your career. And then at the end, you can say to people, you got your senior secondary qualification. You can go off and have schoolies with all your friends as well. You can finish the same time all your mates will be finishing. And like I said, there'll be nothing more satisfying than getting that qualification and knowing that you stuck at it. So now I'm going to open it up for questions. But before we get to those questions, I just wanted you to keep an eye on the VCAL information sessions that are coming up. They're not on our website yet, but they're constantly being refreshed, and they will be starting on October 14 and then be going up to October 28. So please keep an eye on our website and definitely log your interest if you were interested in maybe doing VCAL with us.
Fantastic, Rach. Thanks so much. That was a great presentation. I know I learned lots about VCAL then. Just out to the audience, if you do have any questions, now is the time. Feel free to type them in the Q&A function at the bottom of your screen and we can answer them right now for you. So we'll give that maybe 2 or 3 minutes. If nothing comes in, then we get to get the rest of the evening off, but we'll just hang tight just in case.
Hopefully someone can give me something.
Yes.
Or maybe I did a very in-depth presentation and now they know everything.
Exactly. Maybe that's what we take. Okay, we are waiting. Well, I have a question for you, Rach.
Oh.
Are the classes, if I decide to do my bottom level VCAL, am I in the same class as the intermediates and the seniors, or am I just in my little bubble of the same group?
Are you asking like as a mature age?
As a mature age, yes, that would be great.
So VCAL at Kangan actually doesn't take mature age students. So that's something worth noting. So if you are maybe sending your child to VCAL with us, or you are wanting to enter VCAL yourself and you're that year 10, 11 or 12 mark, we don't have any mature age students. Often what a mature age student, if they're wanting to do VCAL, they are thinking they may need their Year 12 qualification in order to get into a course, which is not necessarily the case. They might be able to enter straight into their certificate or diploma level course. And often I find a mature age are more typically going to go into the VCE if they do require the ATAR score.
Wonderful. Thank you, Rach. That was very interesting. We have no questions, so I think with that we can call it an evening. You must have done such a fantastic job that no one needs any extra help. So with that, I wish you all a wonderful night. I hope you've enjoyed our virtual open day. We are online until 8 p.m, so if you happen to think of a question between now and then, feel free to jump online and one of our course experts can assist you. Thank you to Rach for a wonderful webinar, and I hope you all have a fantastic night.
Thanks, guys.
Goodbye, everyone. Have a wonderful night. Thanks, Rach.